Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Paul Mackay here from Analogue WonderLAB and Marina from Analogue WonderLAB and If We Film. And today we're going to do two things, not one but two. So firstly, we have the third lab update. So we're going to be telling you all about what's been going on behind the scenes. You'll have seen some stuff on Instagram, but this is a bit more. Marina's got another funny story you'll be pleased to hear. We'll also be talking about the community aspect, which is the third priority of the WonderLAB: environment, organisation, I suppose, and community. So we'll be getting into the community side. But of course, this is also a very special video because it is the WonderBox photo competition, monthly judging for August, and we rolled over July and August, so this is extra special super prizes, and Marina is our guest judge. It's also a pre-recorded live video, so if you write in the comments, we won't be able to see them and respond to them now, but Marina and I are sat at our desks right now, joining in the chat, and I'm sure sending each other abuse already. So please do get involved, we'll be able to go along. Right then, enough of me. Marina, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good, you know, I'm really glad that the lab is taking a little bit of shape, and you know, I'm glad that the things are, you know, arriving as well, and yeah, it's going smoothly, don't you think?
It's very smoothly, with only a few problems. So what's happened since we last sat down and talked to people?
Well, I guess that everyone knows about the story of how the processor got into this room, because I needed, like, you know, manpower, and I had to, you know, ask for some help of, like, yeah, henchmen.
I'm not offended at all by the fact you had to go out for that. Yep, okay.
But yeah, I mean, this week I've been fighting with a film processor that we've got. Not this one, is the Jobo ATL 1500, and basically, well, I was doing some tests of like the water circulation. I've got like plugged in all the hoses, and yeah, I did a whole mess in the kitchen. Oh no, I thought it was for your hair.
So I had no idea about the tests again, and I just walked in the morning, morning everyone, went to get a cup of tea. I was like, is someone drying their hair? Fair enough, morning routines can always spill over. And I walk in, Marina is sat on the floor with a little hand hairdryer and a little just hand towel, just dabbing and looking very innocent, with a puddle of chemicals all around her in the carpet. So.
Yes, it's just because someone told me, like, if this is not going to be dry, then you're going to get in trouble. I'm not going to mention the name.
It wasn't me, put it that way. It was some other owner of Analogue WonderLAB.
Oh, it can be.
It could be anyone.
So yeah, that was like... That was
fun.
That was fun. But yeah, the good thing about, you know, doing this test is that it seems that the Jobo is working, so good for us, yeah.
And so for people who don't understand the difference between the processors, and that was me up until a few weeks ago, why do we need a Jobo as well as this beautiful machine in the background?
Because this film processor over here only processes C41, so only process color films. And obviously we need to process more types of film, like black and white or color positive, which is E6. So for that, I need another film processor that could do both processes as well. That's the reason of us getting the Jobo ATL 1500, because I can prepare the chemistry for the films that I need to develop. So that's the advantage of having it. And also the good thing about this film processor is that it's automatic, so I can just prepare the chemistry, do the right settings, and bye-bye, I'll see you later.
So the way I understand it, and tell me if this is wrong, is that this one does sort of a bit of scale processing with your normal colour, and then anything that's not normal colour gets a bit more specialist treatment with the Jobo. Perfect.
Yeah, correct. Well done.
Okay, well there we go. And you've also got some cool gear that you're just flashing around now.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, I dare you to tell me what's this, so tell me in the comments what do you think it is, and obviously this one as well, because I think this shape is not the common shape of like
It looks reminiscent of something I know, but I wouldn't be confident committing. Yeah.
So yeah, these are the little things I really get excited about, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah. So we're still waiting for the final plumbing and electricity to go. So the processor isn't in its final place yet, but things are definitely moving. There's a lot of other gear behind the scenes. There was a very exciting moment this morning when we thought some new bins had arrived, and it turned out they were more containers for Marina. That's the level of excitement we get in Analogue Wonderland. It's very fun and glamorous. And then at the same time, I think, well, I can probably talk a little bit about the website, which is all going on behind the scenes. So there's a second website effectively being built behind the first. And then in a few weeks we'll magically switch them. The good news is not only are we building in the developing so that you can order that easily and linking it up with buying film, so again that's just hopefully super easy for you guys. We're also taking the opportunity to update it. So the website's now 3 years old, and as somebody who lives in it every day, it definitely feels it. So a lot of those things that you guys, and you folk have also mentioned it to me, you know, this thing's a little broken, this thing's a little broken. So this is the chance for us to go through and speed it up and modernise it and fix some of those little things that are broken. So that's really exciting. That's turned into a much bigger piece of work than just adding processing, but I think the results, hopefully, will make for a much better, faster, easier website to use, which is wonderful. Now then, community.
Yeah.
So we've talked environment, although I think you have some updates there as well, because you've been on the phone to a lot of people.
Yeah, I've been speaking with a lot of people, trying to, first, well, you know that I'm still researching about printed techniques that are more sustainable, so I'm getting in contact with few people so that, you know, they can guide me, because I have to be honest, I have zero knowledge about it, but I want to make things better. And another thing that I mentioned on the sustainability video update is that I also want to do silver recovery, but in-house. And I got in contact with one of the head of the department of the University of Mexico, which is called Francisco, and 2 chemists as well, so that they can help me to replicate a machine that recovers silver from fixer, but do it in a smaller scale here. So I'm really excited because I have this stock today, and hopefully I get some, you know, I could get some progress on this research. I'm really excited.
Yeah, so a lot of labs, especially in the UK, will send off their fixer to have the silver recovered. But the reason we want to do it in-house is, one, so we have the control, so we're not trusting someone else to make sure they follow through. And again, I'm sure there's reputable companies, but I also know that there probably are less so. So we can control it in-house. And also I love the idea that we recover silver and do something with it. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
We can make a silver medal and award it to someone in the community who does something particularly environmentally friendly or invents something. So lots of ideas. No idea yet how much of it will be possible from the start. Will come later, but that is something that I know you're super excited about. Also, you say you don't know anything about it. I mean, you print off data sheets and read them, like as bedtime reading. So you're not a trained chemist, but you're on the path.
I can read, you know.
So that's one thing that's really, really good. And then obviously we talked about organisation a lot, and that's continuing as well. Community.
Yep.
So community, the third thing we talked about, and again, one of those things that when we were first saying, Marina, please come and work with us, you said was going to be super important for you in the project and something you wanted to make sure you had our support on. So from your point of view, in your experience in the past, what do labs do well with community, and what do we want to do with it?
So for me, community, it's not just, obviously we're going to do it because I think it's an important part of it, like sharing the photographer's work, but also I think it's more about like making the lab as accessible as possible for you. Like, you know, I want to make this lab so that you can feel super comfortable in like asking us questions that you may have, and yeah, even like doing activities together so that you can you know, be more inspired and even learn things that you didn't know before. Because I don't know, I personally felt that there is like some sort of huge wall in between the lab and whoever is dropping the films. I believe that people sometimes could feel a little bit intimidated and they've got questions, but then they feel like that this is not the place to ask these questions. So I want to make this, you know, this lab as accessible as possible for you.
And the other thing as well is some of the high street chains will take your film but also then send it off. So the person you're talking to at the counter isn't necessarily anything to do with the film developing service, which is fine. Again, it's a way of allowing people to do it from their high street, but it's not the same as and I've had this experience with some wonderful labs. It's not the same as going to Marina, talking it through, saying, I've got this film, I think I screwed up the back end, but don't worry too much, you might be able to recover the scanning because of this or that, let me know what you think. And then when you pick it up as well, you'll be able to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's just I don't want anyone to feel judged by doing mistakes. You know, when we start, we do silly mistakes, and I don't want anyone feel like, you know, judged by anyone. It's like, it's okay, don't worry, we will have laughed together, and then we you know, we explain like, okay, no worries, look, this is what happens, this is how you can avoid it. And that's the way that we can, you know, enjoy this process, because it's a process, like, not pun intended, but yeah, that's for me the key thing about this. And obviously the staff that are going to be working here are going to be film photographers. It's not, you know, someone that maybe, as you said before, it's not directly that related to film photography. So it'll be like an equal for you.
Yeah.
So that's.
And actually, we're hiring at the moment. So if you do want to work for Marina,
please.
There's a link in the bio. There will be a link in the bio. Link in the bio. Yes.
Yep.
Please do. And what's really lovely is already we're seeing the people who are applying are from the community, which again is so important, because that's the easiest way of maintaining this. Now, of course, as well, you're very used to the wonderful Emma being on hand on the phone, on the live chat during the website, and that will still maintain. We'll also make sure that Marina and her team have a phone line to be able to call up and chat with. And again, that can be as specific as, where are my films? Can you send them off, please? To you know, really talking about these things, and when you get your results back, phone us up and ask us why something happened or what we think. Like, this is a process, the whole point, and removing, I think you're right, removing any kind of barrier that remains between your films and your films being developed, because they are it's your photography from start to finish. How do we help bring that to life? Both online with calling up, speaking to us, you know, through Instagram, Reels, all of those kind of things. You'll see behind the scenes, but also then physically. We were meant to have opened up Click and Collect this week, ready for the lab in a couple of weeks, but Agatha, our warehouse manager, got stuck in France, which is a totally separate story. She's fine, but that was unexpected, so we've had to delay that. But there will also be then people who are locally. You can come, you can chat, you can speak to Marina and her team, you can see what's happening, you can ask lots of questions. That's what's going to be really, really super fun. So I am really, really excited about this part, but it's still work in progress for all the details. But one thing I would say is, while we're here, while we're in this chat, you guys know labs and different labs and what you want better than us. We have our own experiences. Please do comment what you'd like to see. What would you love to know more about? What would you love to be your experience when you drop off films or pick them up? So Marina, is there anything else that you wanted to say about the community side?
Yeah, just as the last thing that I wanted to share with you is just, you know, from my point of view, if I, for example, send someone my precious film, I want that whoever is going to develop that film, like, be really passionate about film photography and developing and everything. You know, I think that makes a difference. So that's what I'm trying to do in this lab, because everyone who's going to be involved will be really passionate about film photography, as well as sustainability, organization, everything, you know. I think that getting these important things together can create a huge positive impact in our community, don't you think?
No, absolutely. And what's really, really fun is we're moving from the practical, buying this processor, import this table. We're moving from that side of organisation, get this plumbing done, into the people who you're going to have as your team, the way the website looks, the way it interacts here, how we do the phone lines for people. We're moving into that side of like, how do we bring those three things that we really, really care about into life, above and beyond just sort of the practical things that are physical around. How do we make it really live and breathe? So that's really fun. And as we say, the best thing on this one in particular, I mean, we've asked for it on the first two, but for this one in particular, for community priority, it really is about you guys. So any ideas, any thoughts, please do drop them.
Please comment.
And we will bear all of them in mind. Even if we can't do them from the start, I promise you we will write them down and talk about them afterwards. Yeah,
we'll do our best.
Exactly. So then the fun and games of the next part. So we've got a couple of weeks until we plan on at least having the testing going live.
Yeah.
So obviously the things we talked about last time is still in place, the plumbing, the power supply, a few more tables to build.
Yeah.
A dark room to finish.
Yes.
A dark room to finish, and a few other things. Is there anything else that you think is hot on your list? Hire a team.
Hire a team, yeah. I think that's the priority. These are the priorities at the moment.
Yeah.
Get everything sorted.
So this is the last planned lab update. We might do another video.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely do on Instagram and things. And if not on YouTube, then do please keep an eye on it. And enjoy the next funny story. What will Marina do next?
Yeah, what will happen? Surprise!
I am really excited to find out. Okay, then we're going to take a quick break to grab our laptops and notes, and then we are going to be back to do some photo competition judging.
Yep.
Hello and welcome back from the intermission. I hope you got popcorn and ice cream and drinks. So now we are going to move on to the WonderBox photo competition judging. So after a very busy July with all the moves and everything, we couldn't quite fit in a photo competition. So this is a big rollover, so it's 2 months worth of photos. And our guest judge, you may recognise as Marina. And for the purposes of this, this is Marina, the guest judge from If We Film.
Yep.
So obviously you'll be used to every month I bring someone on from the film community, ask them questions about their project or their businesses, and then they help bring their own creative decision making and technical expertise to help us judge. So Marina,
yep,
from If We Film,
yep,
obviously you're currently running 2 jobs at the moment.
Yes.
So let me just ask about If We Film.
Sure.
Well, first of all, for people who don't necessarily know you from If We Film yet, what is If We Film, where did it come about, and how has it progressed?
Sure, so If We Film is a project that I started in 2018, and basically I started because I wanted to, create a platform in which I can inspire and help people to get started in analog photography, and that was whether through my mentorships or through the tips, reviews that I put on social media, YouTube and all stuff. So basically that's, I wanted to create these to help everyone, to feel everyone welcome in this brilliant world, which is analog photography. And that's why, the reason I started. I started this project in Bristol, but I'm still doing it if We Film exists, even though I'm doing the lab as well. But yeah, do.
And you've had to evolve it quite a lot, because I remember, I think Analogue WonderLAB sponsored a in-person course maybe a couple of years ago. But then obviously COVID meant you had to move totally away from that.
Yeah, I remember. Well, you were my first sponsor, so. Yeah, Analogue WonderLAB, so Paul started to sponsor my face-to-face workshops that I did in Bristol. That was a huge help for me because I was, starting for the first time doing this project on my own. So yeah, but this now evolved to mentorships as well as one-off consultations that I do with people online. So yeah, so basically, or either help people to get their photography back on track, or with like smashing all the doubts that they can get developing or even like project-wise. So yeah, but you know what, I really enjoy this part at the moment.
And I've also seen you work, was it with Hamish on 35mmC, reviewing some products again with that in mind, like does this help people, does it make it easy for people?
Yeah, I also worked with Hamish. Well, Hamish has a negative holder called Pixel Art, and yeah, basically I just wanted to review it and have my honest thoughts shared with you. And that was a second sponsor as well, so I'm really glad that this is like taking shape as well, and I'm reaching to a lot of people, so that's basically my main goal, to help as much as possible.
Yeah, I remember those first chats, because when you then said, all about busting those barriers or helping people move into film photography and learn and enjoy it, I mean, that's just amazing for the community all round. Because while there are fantastic cameras, and places you can buy them, and then obviously film and everything, if you're unsure, intimidated, or you go on the internet and there's a million things that can tell you, having somebody like yourself just say, no, don't worry about that. This is how you can get great photos simply.
Yeah, it's to make it like the things that seems complicated, like super easy. So that's when I believe that when you get to that point, you can really enjoy what you're doing without, having to worry about all the technical aspects of everything. That's when you truly do analog photography, I think.
And also I think you were one of the first to embrace short form funny videos on Instagram. Before Reels was even a thing, we had your workout video. that is exceptional. We'll have to find a link to that and post it up, because that is well worth watching. I think that was a lockdown video, but that made us laugh. And then while you're now setting up the WonderLab, are you still working on things? How are you fitting things through? Can people still sign up to talk to you, or is it all on pause?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if we're filming, still going, and basically, I have to like organize myself so that I can do both things at the same time. But yeah, like even I'm doing my mentorships with few people, and also you can, whenever you can sign up for the one-off consultations in case that you have a few, doubts that you want to solve. But yeah, and also I'm not posting that as frequent as I used to be on social media, but I'm still, doing things behind the scenes, and there are a few reels that I really enjoy to do. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, Marina did warn me. She said, I need a really normal photo of you. I was like, what for? She said, don't worry about it. Oh, okay, well that doesn't worry me at all, so that's fine. No, that's wonderful. So, and when you have people at the moment who you're helping with, is that starting off with photography? Is that with a project they have in mind? Is that with an exhibit? Like, what are you helping people do at the moment?
Oh,
I know it changes.
Many things, but mainly people that got an idea that want to like make it as either an exhibition, photo book, or like even do like a project that can be shown online. And also I'm working with a few more people to try to improve their mindset, because I think that one of the key things in order to get back on track with your photography is first work on your mindset. So like the things that you tell to yourself, because I think that many people that are watching us could relate that at some point we feel that our photographs are great enough. So that's when you have to work on the thoughts that you have. So yeah, and also I'm helping people to actually make a living from photography, which is another important thing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Well, there you go. So you get not only the photographic and film photographic experience, but also you have somebody who will care about your project and help you bring it to life, which is, again, a fantastic tool. And what's your vision for If We Film? Is there a grander thing in your mind, or is this at the moment you're taking it month by month, year by year?
No. I have a.
You have a vision.
I have a vision. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be like a headless chicken. To be honest, I have like a quite ambitious vision for the future, and that will involve having great female photographers involved in the project. I can't reveal too much, but yeah, it's something that is going to make a huge impact in the film community. Yeah, as I said before,
okay. No,
sorry. It's not because I want to keep it secret, but it's just that let's please be patient.
Well, having seen your work up close and personal with what you can do from scratch here, then I am sure it's going to be freaking amazing when it comes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Head to the website if you're interested in booking sessions. Then
there's a link below.
Link below. Brilliant. The website there. Follow on Instagram. I am now slightly nervous about seeing what you post soon, but I'm sure there'll be lots of fun things there.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things that you've done. I remember the exercise video in particular, but also developing in Basel. I know that went around the community within hours. Very much worthwhile. And you do lots of stories as well, and you chat to people there and things like that. Wonderful. So when I then asked you to guest judge the photo competition, you've seen a lot of photos over your life. You've taken a lot of film photos. I deliberately, as many of you will know, I deliberately leave the judging criteria open to the guest judges, because then everyone who comes in, as long as I pick from around the world, everyone comes in with a slightly different angle, a slightly different set of what's important to them artistically, technically, and hopefully that allows everyone, regardless of their personal style, to have a fair shot at winning. So what are you looking for in photographs? When I said to you, choose Marina's photographs from this set, what did you start to look for?
So normally what I look for is not like photographs that are like technically speaking like perfect and top notch. I'm rather like, you know, tend to choose photographs that are, when I looking at them, like they convey something, whether it's a feeling, an idea, like, you know, that's for me the most important thing. Like, because I don't know, I think that photography is meant to share a story through our photographs. So that's for me the key points that I had in mind when I looked through all the images. So like, what are the images are telling me? So yeah, that was my criteria.
Perfect. And there were lots and lots of photos, particularly with a double month, which is fantastic. So you picked some special mentions and a grand winner. I also picked out some special mentions because there were some that I just jumped off the page to me. And then obviously we have the Lucky Dip winner as well, which is randomly selected. Now the fun thing this month is we're thinking about prizes beforehand. And obviously with the WonderLAB in this stage at the moment, what we thought we'd do is, so for the Lucky Dip winner and the grand prize winner, you can send in films, up to 3 films in the next couple of weeks. And we will develop them, scan them, however you want, for free. And then when we send you back the negatives, we'll also add in a few little goodies as well. So you get the chance. Now, is this a prize? We don't know. You get the chance for one of the first rolls of film.
You'll be the first ones, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll learn what the chemicals work. No. You won't be the very first. We'll do the test rolls first, but yours will be some of the first ever rolls through Marina's WonderLAB. And as I say, we'll also pop some little extras in on the way back too. So best of luck, everyone. So, Marina, what was your very first special mention?
Alright, so my first very special mention will be the photograph taken by Zen.
The Zen.
So I apologize for yes, it's just that this photograph is like, when you see it, there's something like magic in it. I really love like these green lines that you can see in the middle of the picture. That, I don't know, when I saw this picture, I thought like that this light is like popping, like coming out from the piano. That's like, you know, representing the energies in between the people who is playing the person who is playing the piano and the piano. I don't know, I just thought that, you know, it's a beautiful photo.
And do you recognise which film it's taken on?
That's a good question.
Or the brand.
The brand.
You suspect the brand.
Don't show it to me.
No,
I don't
you
know.
look. You look.
I think it's Fuji C200. No. Kodak. Kodak Color Plus.
I'm not sure because it's Revolog.
Oh!
And Revolog use various stocks as their base. I think they're using gold at the moment, but in the past I know they've used both those. So yeah, so it's Revolog Nebula, which was a June WonderBox film.
Oh my god.
But it's beautiful. So obviously you'll remember the nebula has these galaxies through the frames, but they're random in terms of you don't know where they'll be before you take a photo, before you compose, and they can lead to a lot of happy accidents. So what Desente said is, Nebula is a fun film to shoot. It's more exciting to shoot when you have a storyline or a certain scene that would complement the special effects. So I think that, I mean, it looks as though they had in their minds an idea of the stars and that, you know, referencing the music. So they said on this one, they love how Nebula is positioned above the harpsichord keys. A musician's dream is to create magic as one performs.
There you go. There you go. What a lovely match, yeah. You know, and you know, you mentioned that how, like, when you're using an experimental film, you're not sure about how it's going to come out. But then this randomness is just, in this case, it was perfect. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and also the randomness of where it might be, I think can sometimes intimidate people, so they say, oh, it doesn't matter what you shoot, it's just all. But actually, what we're saying here is, you can't exactly know where to be positioned, but if you're taking, you can bend the odds in your favour by taking photos that you know will match the effect in particular. And whether this nebula was there or slightly there, you know, as soon as you're making music and you have the keys, then it's more likely that you're going to get a wonderful photo, and this is an absolutely wonderful photo. Okay, dokes, who's next?
The next one, the special mention, it is from photographs taken by Richard Alonso. I don't know, I really love this picture. It's just, well, first of all, I love dogs. So, but apart from that, I think it's just, you know, it's a photograph that you can't replicate, like, even though you think you could do it. I don't know, I think it's brilliant that the dog is like really staring to us with that like sad face. I think for me it's sad, but yeah, I just loved it because I really like pictures of like animals, and then I don't know, I loved it.
So beautiful photo, Richard. So a little bit of detail. The title is Babushka, which is the Russian for old lady or grandma, I think.
Yeah, grandmother.
And actually, so you picked on it perfectly. This is their Spanish rescue dog, Maya's. I don't think she will ever forgive my wife for putting the scarf on her. So there's a bit of sadness and a bit of who are my owners, I think, in his eyes. I think
the title is brilliant, Babushka, and then this. Oh god, yeah.
And then, without looking, what film stock is it, do you think?
Oh my god. I'm not sure actually, there could be Portrait 400?
Portrait 160.
Oh wait, well.
Portrait 160.
Right.
Portrait 160, and actually the difference between 400 and 160 is interesting here, because apparently this is actually quite heavily cropped. So the wife of the scarf infamy insisted on being cropped out of this photo, and then Richard has called out specifically the fine grain that you get with Portrait 160 allows for the tight detail, so you can crop with slightly stronger crops than you might be Portrait 400 or 800 without then the grain becoming more obvious. So I don't know what percentage of the film this is cropped to, but I'm guessing it's fairly significant. Yet because it's Portrait 160, you don't see that grain then doesn't start to dominate the overall image. Marina's zooming in now, desperately trying to find some grain.
No, but it's really impressive what you said, because I didn't know about that detail, that this image was cropped, and I would never thought that. this was proper. Yes, brilliant.
So there we go. So you have the gorgeous colours, the lovely detail of portrait, but then because it's 160, slower speed, finer grain, you can also crop it a lot stronger. Wonderful. Okay then, what's next?
The next special mention is from, it's a photograph, well, two actually, two in one, taken by Buzz Matthews. Yeah, it's just that I particularly love, you know, the scans that you can include the sprockets, so that's a win for me. And also really like these panoramic shots, because as I said before, I really like, you know, a photograph that can, you know, transmit story. So for me, this could be a part of the story, like, you know, like showing what was going on there. And I didn't know until Paul said it, but this is the interior of a train.
A train sequence, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know, I think I love like the colors and the fact that, how is it called? The train man? How can you call
train conductor person.
The train conductor person is like captured there as well in one of the like windows. So I don't know, I think, yeah, it's a brilliant.
It's beautiful, and it's like a cartoon where each, you know, it's almost like the frames of the window. So I don't know if those are different windows or they're the same window across time. And also I think I'm with panoramas like that, you're used to seeing then the blur, you're used to seeing the lines starting to lose itself as you go panoramic. It's actually the fact that the angles are really straight makes it very, very compelling indeed. The other interesting thing is, so the feathering of the light from the sprockets. What do you think is going on there?
I don't know. I mean, obviously that was like exposed. Like there was this for sure light leak. So that's why I'm really intrigued. What was the camera that was used? So please let us know.
So Chris Matthews, if you're watching this now, please put us out of our misery. I mean, the other thing is it's Silbera Colour 50 is the film, and one of the things we talked about with Silbera Colour 50 was that it has light piping.
Yeah, in the perforations. Interesting. So I'm now more intrigued, because I'm not sure if it was, because I used Silbera film as well, and I had that you know, experienced that having like leaks on the perforations, but I'm not sure it's like that on top of the camera having like leaks. So please, Chris, let us know, because I'm really curious.
So beautiful image with lovely colours, great composition, and also some technical curious things that would love some follow-up on. Wonderful. Okay then, so those are your 3 special mentions. So we'll jump to the ones that I came out with. So first of all, we have The Bench and a Cyclist, and I had to pull this one out because this is our good friend Chris Lockyer, who won one of the monthly competitions several months ago with this composition, but in the dead of winter. And we talked a lot about how interesting it would be to, well, the lines and everything is just brilliantly positioned, and it was in the time. But we also talked about how interesting it would be to see this scene evolve over the months and seasons. And true to form, he has submitted, this one is sort of a summer one, you can see somebody enjoying the cycling. That tree that looked like it burst into life just hasn't. So that one that's been the focus of all these photos so far, the entire scene, is even now more intriguing, because while life has sprung up on the grass in the background and with the person cycling, that solitary tree in the front has not moved at all. So thank you so much, Chris, for submitting it. I really enjoy to see these go. And that was on Cinestill 50D, which Chris says, lovely shot film with great colour. Be aware of the possible glare around the highlights, the halation, and and his Instagram, it turns out I've been mispronouncing it. It's Lamerlad, not Lamerlad, which actually, in fairness, that does sound a lot better. So thank you so much, Chris. Can't wait to see what autumn looks like. The next one from my choices is a beautiful, slightly surreal one from Jacob. So Jake, this one is called Orwell in Richmond. It's shot on Ilford XP2. He says he doesn't have any particular wisdom to bestow about this film, which I think is slightly self-critical, because anyone who can take this photo definitely learns something. This is brilliant. It makes every photo that he's experienced, but very sharp and noirish. So, I mean, I love this photo for the fact that it grabs your attention straight away. The eyes are very compelling. The Orwell reference, I definitely get that sort of Big Brother watching, the surveillance, the fact that the leaves in the front are out of focus, and then you have the detail all the way through, definitely brings you into the photo. It feels very intimate and very claustrophobic, which I think is really lovely. The tones are brilliant throughout. The detail in the eye, from the whites to the blacks, is absolutely gorgeous. And again, one of those brilliant photos that works very well on a thumbnail, and then also when you look at it. Marina, what do you think? Does that jump out to you as well?
Yes, like, yeah, the eyes that caught your attention, like, really, like, straight away. I don't know, I think it also, I think the composition is actually well, like, done. I certainly agree with what you said.
And have you shot a lot of XP2 before?
To be honest, no, either.
You're a black and white purist. You won't touch this C41 nonsense.
Come on, no. I'm not like purist, but yeah, it's just that maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I normally use other brands.
But it makes it interesting. So that idea that it will come out quite LA Noirish, I think, is really compelling. Okay, another black and white photo, but a very, very different one. So this is Richard Tallett, and it is called Star Wars Symmetry. And it is very, very striking. Obviously the leading lines, the eye is brought straight through. You've got the slightly mirrored but not perfectly mirrored characters to give it some kind of structure as well. It looks a bit long exposure in the background, but that might be the effect, because this is shot on Washi F, which is a fluorographic film, which we talked about would have very interesting effects. You wouldn't get the same sharpness of a normal black and white film. It comes from a very different place, with diagnosing lung conditions from memory, and this can be the result. So this is shot in Canary Wharf, the Adams Place Bridge, in the so-called Star Wars tunnel. Richard talks about the fact he loves the extreme contrast, but also the ghostly symmetry. I think we talked about that, of the pedestrians in the distance. And in terms of Washi F, he says, avoid shooting in daylight. In his experience, he found that even on an overcast day, pretty much everything came out slightly overexposed. So he personally wants to have another go with this film inside or at night. I don't know whether that's a metering issue where you just knock down the light exposure and shoot regardless, or whether there is something away that interacts with really bright sunlight that changes that. All the Washi films, it's hard to predict necessarily without having shot a lot of it yourself. So I haven't shot a lot of Washi F myself. I've shot my WonderBox roll, but apart from that, I definitely want to learn more. But if this is the effect, then finding strong shapes, finding strong contrast, and playing with how that looks, because there's so much character in even the white floor. It's not washed out, it's not bland. It's really, really interesting.
I think that, you know, the playing with the symmetry and the contrast that Washi film is give you is, you know, I think it was a really like brilliant thing that you've done, Richard. And also, you know, because thanks to this symmetry, that I don't know why, but I want to rotate the picture, make it upside down. Oh, wow. That's super good. That was weird.
I'm really glad you said that. That's amazing.
Yeah, wow. It seems like it's like a river. Wow.
Yeah. So hopefully Emma has done the magic of the editing so that you're seeing this as well. Otherwise you're just looking at us shout wow at the screen. But yes, as soon as you have that symmetry, the different orientations will provide different interpretations of the image.
Wow. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Really,
Richard.
really stunning, Richard. And thank you so much for sharing with us what Washi F can do, because that's really, really interesting. And then finally, I mean, I am a bit of a sucker for family photos at the moment, because obviously a lot of my personal photos are on this theme. But this one is absolutely lovely. And actually I looked through. So this is Ryan Leroyd. Thank you so much, Ryan, for submitting this one. It is Shutter Go Click on Instagram. He actually submitted several photos with his family on different films, and actually they're all worth a look. So hopefully he's put them on Instagram and we can go and check them out on his account. This one to me jumped out in particularly because it took me a while to work out whether it's a reflection or double exposure. I'm still not sure. It must be a double exposure.
I think it's a double exposure. Yeah.
But normally with double exposure, especially rotated, you'd see things that are in the top left and the bottom right. Whereas this looks...
I think it should be done. This one has been... maybe I'm wrong, but this photograph is... I think Richard's been using a camera that's called split camera, that you can take... Like you can cover a part of the lens, take a photograph, and then take another shot in the same frame and cover the other part. And I think maybe I'm wrong. Tell me.
It's like with the splitzer on the lomography ones as well that cover up different parts.
Yeah.
They can be very compelling. I'm just blown away as to how to get a mirror image rather than a rotated image, which is normally what you get with those split cameras when you take two. So okay, there we go. So that sort of technical curiosity aside, the photo itself I think is amazing. The moment and the emotion on the lady's face is just absolutely heartwarming. The background and the blues and the wide open skies is gorgeous. And the other thing that really caught my eye was the fact that it looks like the blue sky in the bottom is like her dress. So the way that it's lined up, the clouds have come up to her back and to the front. It's like she has these checkered sleeves and then it turns into a blue dress. So it's not just, the danger is with split cameras or any of these effects that you end up with two disparate images sort of stuck together. Whereas this really seems to blend, and she's emerging from the bottom with this sort of natural flowing clothing, lifting him high. I don't know, it just worked on so many levels for me, and the brightness of the colours, the blues, absolutely stunning. So thank you so much, Ryan. And as I say, Ryan submitted several that were worthy of being called out in these special mentions, of his family looking absolutely wonderfully happy in many ways. So please do go on his Instagram and check those out. And there we go. The special mentions are all done. So huge congratulations to everyone we've called out. Please do go and check out those artists in more detail on their handles or their websites, wherever we put up. It is now time for the winners. Now the first one is a lucky... Emma will add a sound effect, hopefully. It's not quite as impressive, but thank you, Emma. Lucky dip winner. So of course, every month as well, we randomly allocate, and Marina saw me do it, a random number generator on the spreadsheet to pick somebody's work. So regardless of your level of experience, regardless of how happy you are with your photos, every month, if you enter, you have a chance to win. And sure enough, we have a winner, and that winner is Amber Marie. So congratulations, Amber Marie. Hurrah! You win the chance to have Marina develop your films for free and then some goodies on the way back. So I'll be in touch with the details, but let's talk about this photo, because even though it was randomly picked by a computer, it is also very much worth talking about. So I really love this as a portrait. It's not a portrait that I could ever imagine. If you gave me a model and a room full of props, I don't know how long it would take me before I asked them to hold a shell up next to a window with that expression. So I really love the interest and the intrigue and what made you think to combine this expression with the shell, but I really love it. I think it's very intriguing. And within that, so it's shot on Delta 100, so one of Ilford's Delta range. Beautiful, beautiful film, very fine grain. The advice for using this film, Amber says, use bright light sources or during bright conditions to really bring out the best contrast from your images. And then she talks about the props. So she says she loves how the use of props and pose make the image seem almost Renaissance-like, but very modern at the same time due to the model's makeup and her clothing. She hadn't pre-planned the props and just used what the model had lying about in her room. There we go. So she thought a very successful portrait, considering the fact that it was not planned at all. Really, really lovely. Huge congratulations on your lucky dip winner. A wonderful photo as well, and I will be in touch shortly with your prize. So now we have the big drum roll. Grand winner is
Elisa Patrascu.
Hey, Elisa! Congratulations, Elisa.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this photo. What do you love about it?
absolutely adore these photographs. And I'm going to repeat again what I said at the beginning of the video. But yeah, normally for me, the most important thing, apart from like, you know, the techniques, it's about what you want to transmit. Is it a concept, or it's an idea and a story, emotions, feelings? And I think that this photograph is brilliant because, I don't know, I see this photograph as on a start of a photo book. Like this could be like the cover. That isn't, you know, it's like the start of a story, and I don't know. And the good thing, well, another thing is that I'm sure that this wasn't planned. It was so candid, natural, and I love it. And I actually want to know what happened next and the environment and everything. So I don't know, Elisa, you should, you know, really consider to do, you know, a photo zine about this. Yeah, I don't know. It's
a very playful look, and the lighting is gorgeous. You have the slight vignette in the top left, but the shadows coming through the slats of the bed frame, really compelling. Eliza actually was a Lucky Dip winner 3 or 4 months ago, I think. And I'm actually wondering whether it was with the same person, whether this is her partner or a friend. I'm not sure. And she shot him on Rolly infrared, which obviously traditionally is a more landscape, you'd think, you know, infrared photography. But she shot it without a filter as a portrait film, and it was really interesting. We talked a lot about it there. So huge congratulations, Eliza. You are now not just a Lucky Dip winner of the past, but a grand winner of the future. And again, as with Amber, you win the chance of this lovely lady developing your films, up to 3 films. Send them in and we will sort them out and send them back with some extra goodies as well. Wonderful photo. Sadly, I don't have in my notes here which film it is.
Oh.
So we could speculate wildly. Which film do you think it is?
HP5, I guess? I think so.
Oh, that hasn't been in the WonderBox yet. So unless she shot it particularly early, it's possible. It's possible. Because if she was in the last... Anyway, we don't... let's say that. It could be HP5. Eliza, let us know.
Kinsmere 400?
Could be.
Maybe. Who knows?
Add in the comments and then Eliza hopefully will be able to confirm it. Marina, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. What did you think of the overall quality of the photos, the numbers that you saw through?
I think...
How are the WonderBox community doing, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, really good. I really enjoy seeing people getting involved in this and you know, sharing their photographs. And it's just that, you know, we can see their worlds, we can see their point of view, and I think that's like the beauty of photography, not only film photography, but yeah, photography. So I don't know, I really like this initiative and I really like how people are getting involved in this. So yeah, thank you so much for participating.
Yeah, the way that people have embraced, I mean, I don't think we had 2 films across all of those special mentions and Lucky Dips and winners. I think everyone had used a different WonderBox film. I don't know how many of those films you would have naturally shot without the WonderBox nudging and me putting it in there and then talking a little bit about it. I'm not sure, but it's wonderful to see such a variety of talent being expressed with such a variety of emulsion. So thank you so much. There we go. That's it from us. You've heard a lot from us. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sure you have, especially the Marina parts. Please do add any comments below, as we said, anything that you'd like to see from us with the WonderLab and the community side. Huge congratulations to all the WonderBox winners, special mentions and everyone who submitted. And we will be back very shortly, I'm sure. Thank you and bye.
See ya.